I'll do my best not to get too woo-woo spiritual on you in this video, but I'm not making any promises. After all, for the next few minutes, I will be talking about the power of nature, how it relates to sobriety, and how connecting with nature has helped me to get and stay sober. So listen, the topic just lends itself to a little bit of woo. You've been warned. So the great thing about nature, right, is that it's widely accessible. Assuming you have access to the outdoors, then you have access to nature. And this video is going to help you figure out whether or not getting into nature, connecting with nature a little bit more, can be a helpful tool to add to your sobriety toolbox. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about how getting into nature has helped me get and stay sober. Next, I will look at some of the evidence-based research about the benefits of nature for our mental health and for sobriety. And finally, I will leave you guys off with a little tip or tool that can help you start incorporating nature into your recovery. So make sure to stay tuned until the very end, or else. Hello everyone. My name is Allie K. Campbell. It's really awkward to say the K. There are other Allie Campbells out on the internet doing Allie Campbell stuff, so I had no choice but to use it. Anyway, this is my YouTube channel, which is dedicated to getting real, having fun, and living sober. Every Wednesday, I upload a new sobriety tip as a part of my Sobriety Toolbox series, which is what you're watching right now. These videos would not be made possible without the support of my patrons, so I just want to say a big thank you to Anna, Naomi, Beth, Chris, Callie, Lauren, Pam, Rachel, Samantha, and Tess. If you would like to join these amazing people in helping support a queer sober artist such as myself, you can check out the Patreon link in the description of this video. And with that, let's get to the show. So I was never really a nature gal, more of a stay inside and play video games type. I attribute this a lot to the fact that I was a city kid, so I wasn't all that exposed to nature in the traditional sense. From the ages of like 13 to 18, my relationship with nature was basically just like getting drunk in parks. Thankfully, that changed. By the time I got sober at age 26, I had moved away from the city that I grew up in to a little quaint town called Boonton, New Jersey. You've probably never heard of it because pretty much nobody has ever heard of it. But for context, it's in Morris County, which is a part of New Jersey that's especially known for its like woodsy areas and hiking trails and all that good stuff. New Jersey can actually be really beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you different. So around the time that I moved to Boonton was around the same time that I was getting sober. I'm not really sure what drove me into nature, but I started walking and or biking to my morning meeting every Saturday. And on the way, I passed through this cute little park that had a literal hidden waterfall behind it, which was like basically my backyard. And I guess this combination of like peacefulness from the sound of the water and the smell of the outside, and I guess just kind of like feeling the breeze on my skin, along with connecting with other sober people, became like a really amazing part of my routine. And like since then, I've gotten a lot more into like running and walking outside on a daily basis, like hiking trails, even though admittedly, if the hike is too long and I'm with somebody, I will absolutely complain for like half the time. I'm getting better at that though. Progress, not perfection, am I right? So let's look into whether or not there's any science behind how nature might be able to help us stay sober or get sober, whatever it may be. Although I'm sure my anecdotal evidence more than enough to convince you to get outside and hug a tree. So based on the studies that I found, I think it's safe to say that getting out into nature certainly will not cure addiction, and it's not a solve-all for a substance abuse issue, especially if you're in the thick of it. However, making regular time in nature can be really helpful for relapse prevention, whereas it's less likely to help you get sober, it's likely to help you stay sober. According to a study titled "The Restorative Effects of Natural Environment Experiences, Being in Nature Can Help Improve Your Focus and Concentration." I found this one especially important as someone diagnosed with ADHD. I already struggle a lot with misdirected attention. And not to get too deep into the connection between ADHD and substance abuse issues, there are a ton of studies that show that there is a high comorbidity rate between the two. And the fact that a lot of people develop unhealthy relationships with substances like drugs and alcohol as a result of an untreated ADHD diagnosis or untreated ADHD symptoms is pretty telling. So going into nature can help improve issues with focus and concentration in a way that's healthy and also mitigates less pleasant symptoms of substance abuse issues or ADHD, like depression and anxiety. Trouble with cognitive function and focus, concentration, things like that are also super common for people in early sobriety, when your mind and your body is still trying to get used to taking away something from it that it's very familiar with. Keep in mind, the study that I mentioned here is actually from the 90s, so it can definitely use some updating, and I'd feel more comfortable getting behind this if there was a similar one that was done within the past like 5 or 6 years. In the next study, researchers looked at whether or not physical exercise could be a potential effective treatment for substance use disorder. And the results were pretty good. According to these guys, physical exercise regularly done can increase your rate of abstinence, ease withdrawal symptoms, and help depression. Okay, but what's that got to do with nature, right? Well, unless you're going outside to just literally stand there or like eat an entire pizza pie, which is doubtful unless you're me, being outdoors will probably encourage you to get moving more. But that's just my opinion. Finally, I feel confident in saying that spending less time indoors and more time outdoors can help stave off boredom. The thing is that when you commit to going outside and into nature and making that a regular part of your day, effectively open up a whole new set of possibilities of things that you can do, hobbies and whatnot. After all, you can't go kayaking in your living room or apple picking in your basement. And according to a study about the biological factors that play into relapse, boredom is actually one of the main reasons that people start using and drinking again. And I am definitely an example of that. Boredom is one of my biggest triggers. So if you're bored and you're thinking of going back out, instead, go back outside. As always, if you guys want to look more into these studies, they're all available in the description of this video. There's a shit ton more research out there, but I just wanted to focus on these 3 today. So let's get into how we can incorporate nature into our daily lives or into a regular practice so that it can potentially help us stave off relapse and provide us with some of the mental health benefits that come along with it. While I love my daily walks and runs, and I highly suggest that everyone give that a try, I know that that's not everyone's cup of tea. Think a little bit more outside the box. Outside the box. Get it? About how you can enjoy outdoors more. Jot down the things on the list of activities that I'm going to give you and then add more to yours based on your personal preferences. Here's my list to get you started. 1, fishing and or crabbing. Not a fisher, but I love going down the shore and crabbing. It's something I've done with my parents for a really long time since I was a kid, and it's super fun. Skiing or snowboarding. I'm awful at both of these, and the only time I tried to go, I ended up just sitting in the lobby getting drunk. Photography. Oh my God, so cute, so hipster. You don't even need anything other than a phone. Perfect. Gardening. My girlfriend's great at this. Make your own fruit, make your own vegetables, make some flowers, then take some pictures of that shit. Bird watching, unless you're afraid of them, in which case it could be good exposure therapy. Camping. Ew. Canoeing. Another thing you can't do in your living room unless you're really high and you're hallucinating it, which we're not doing that anymore, guys. Surfing. Terrifying. So again, not my thing. Astronomy. Yeah, like looking at stars and stuff. There's actually places where you can go and use their telescopes, and it's free, and yeah, look into it. That would be super fun thing to do. Might look into it myself. Not into any of this stuff. That is completely fine. This is not an exhaustive list by any means. Like I said, add to the list, keep adding to it, so then anytime you feel like you want to get out into nature and give this a try, you have plenty of options. And at the very least, if you don't like any of this stuff or anything else you find, do something that you already like doing indoors, outdoors. It's a really good start to at least get outside. If you're into reading, do it on your porch. If you're into video games, do it on your porch. I mean, not everything is as transferable, but you know what I'm saying. I've been getting really into doing my virtual meetings while I walk, and I'm killing 2 birds with 1 sober stone. Okay, I hope you guys found some value in this video. If you have made it this far, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Throw me a like if you'd like it. At the very least, if you did not enjoy the video or found it really annoying, at least you stayed sober for the past 13 to 14 minutes. Presumably so. Okay, it's been real, it's been fun, and it's been real fun. Now go outside and play.